How about these mock fans making the trip up from Chattanooga? 4 syllables.
That's right. Chattanooga.
Home of Cracker Barrel. There's about 8 of them in town.
On the drive for the bucket is Latif Diouf.
Player of Penn State. Outstanding high school player in the state of New Jersey. Dad played with Jimmy Valvano at Rutgers.
Like that. Here's Bonham. Feeds it in for Diouf.
Beautiful.
And 2.
Now, Mike,
Chattanooga did a really good job of shutting down the inside, took away penetration. That's the thing right now that Chattanooga is not doing is shooting threes. They're really struggling with that right now. They were 1 for 7 before that, so that makes them 1 for 8.
This is a Bradley team that gives up 68 points per game as Diouf battling to the networks of ESPN. For more information, go to NCAA.com, your home for all 90 NCAA championships.
Oh, beautiful play inside. Now Dayton will come with some pressure. They'll either go full court man, they'll do a little triangle, they'll do a 2-2-1, but they'll mix their defenses.
Only 3-point lead for the Mocs. Latif Diouf into the game. He has the ball. Bonham trying to get a step on Cheeks. Diouf with 2 to shoot. Diouf off the window and in.
Diouf, yeah, but that's why you love Cheeks. He had a drive to the basket, created the drive, didn't try to finish, set up his teammate. That's why they love to give Cheeks a lot of touches, because he not only can score, but he creates scoring opportunities for other guys on his team.
3-point game in favor of Chattanooga. Second round action in the NIT. Inside to Diouf. Diouf, 2 more.
Now, I will tell you, Dayton has to clean.
it might take 90 to win tonight, Coach.
Yeah, hey, you say 90, I'm thinking about 100, for goodness sakes.
These teams are not shy. Cusano's checked into the game along with Costal for Chattanooga.
You can see in the principle when they throw it to the block, they call it playing through the low post, and then the cutting off the low post fast. And I was going to say, Chattanooga's lucky they're only down 9 with Puff not going scoreless at this point. They're very fortunate in that area.
Diouf scores again.
See Chattanooga stepping it up on the defensive end. Working, understanding that this game is going to depend on possession. Who has the most possessions? Who's utilizing those possessions?
Nice look inside by Costal and 1 for Diouf.
Bryant getting behind the defense. Huff, second chance, and it is Diouf.
This goes to the basket and lays it home. Demetrius Davis making his former team pay. Here's Bonham. Now Diouf on the dribble. On a cutting Huff underneath, ends up all the way to Wieland. He's able to keep it alive. Wieland whips it to Kiesler. Kiesler driving through traffic with the fake. Spins around, kicks it out. Diouf, baseline drive, and lays it in on the runner. That was a pretty play. Over to Bonham on the right wing with 10 to shoot. Bounce pass to Diouf. Diouf backing in. Diouf spins around. Near breath. Diouf puts it up. Couldn't get it to go. Gets his own miss. Now trying to create some separation. Diouf, that second chance, able to put it through us when they last played the Mocs in January. Now in double figures with 11.
And a great shot there to kind of, again, know where your spot is on the court and just read it perfectly.
And ends a 6-0 run for Chattanooga. Here's Wieland on the baseline against Davis. Diouf through traffic, lays it in. Nice.
7-point advantage, 57-50. Chattanooga with the ball.
Always nice to make that back end free throw. It allows your defense an opportunity.
He goes the distance coast to coast, and nobody stopped the ball. And he's able to find the bottom of the cup.
Catamounts have rallied back within 5.
Diouf down low, spins to the midline, gets it with the left hand to go. Nice job. Pelote trying to get a step back three. That one won't fall. And again, shooting percentages continue to stay down low. Richards running the floor. That's a tough one. That's going to be a goaltend as Collins.
That allowed the clean look for Micaiah Johnson. Won't show up in the box score, but that's a great play by Karan Boyd.
Bonham with speed. Trying to get Struthers in deep. Throws it to the cutting Diouf.
And he's made an impact early.
Davidson a deep three. Rebound for Jack Costel. Wheelan has had the hot hand for Chattanooga, but this is Diouf. And he converts off the glass.
It's a nice move.
Came as Latif. Diouf was trying to make a move to the hoop. Frank Champion inbounds against the freshman Brady Shoulders. Champion, nice dish to the corner. Diouf, the big man.
Dan Earl got what he wanted from his starters all the way up to the very end, which was really playing without any drop in focus or attention to detail.
Nice move by Diouf.
Mentioning hadn't seen Peyton West in this game for the Bulldogs. He came here tonight in just his warm-ups. This is a team that we alluded to has the capability to have 4 or 5 guys on any given night get into double figures, and he was one of them, averaging 12 a game.
Diouf again with a left hand. Latif.
Alabama State has 3 wins, and so does Southern. So there is not a team in that league right now that is at or above 500.
Great look inside. Cassano to Diouf. Diouf rope.
Charge and Turnbull muscles his way through contact to the rim to score. He's making the most of his playing time tonight. Earning more minutes out there, no doubt, for David Ragland and this Aces coaching staff. Bonham, guarded by Comer, trying to find a lane as those two battle. The kick out comes to Huff with 9 to shoot. Huff, bounce pass inside to Diouf, made the lay-in.
Shot at the buzzer for North Alabama was KJ Johnson, who transferred to North Alabama from Lipscomb.
And we're going to see more of that. Right? And you're right, though. The backbreaker, to have somebody that's probably got a little bit of motivation to hit a shot like that. Nobody wants to see you do better when you move on. You should do that all the time, right? Sorry.
Bonham, cross court, Kiesler on a skip. Here's Diouf. Backs it in against Langley. Finishes with the left hand. Now for Trey Bonham. Jackson shot off the mark. And here he comes again. Bonham. Inside, Diouf. And Chattanooga has their 6. And we're tied again at 19. Diouf.
Game so far. Absolutely. They're back on the road, so it's going to be a tough challenge for them, but they're a dangerous basketball team because of how well they can shoot the three. So it's going to be super exciting to see if they can get it going.
And we'll start with a high post touch for Latif Diouf. He is out of the Netherlands. Talk more about him as we go along in his famous hometown. Diouf has it, left post. Backing down Brendan Terry to the right hand, and he pulls up and hits one with a soft touch.
You can tell these SEMO players working that 1-2 dribble jumper. The picture perfect, knocking them down with a bunch of confidence.
Trey Bonham drops it off for Bash Whelan. He led them in scoring in their win over Morehead State, 26 points. Whelan, one of their transfers. He came from Bellarmine, and Diouf gets behind. But he goes by Bash. Here he is on the block to the right hand. Leaner will not fall, but he gets it back on a deflection. His follow rims off. And the putback, Diouf is there.
off a huge victory against Butler. I mentioned it, they're receiving votes. Chattanooga fighting for that first victory. Govs are trying to prove that game on Friday wasn't a fluke.
Diouf with it. He puts it on the floor. Play similar to Witt, and he'll get the shot to go. Kicks right back out to Huff. We'll see if the backcourt can get it going. Bonham and Huff have been held in check by this Austin Peay defense. They get the switch in the mismatch speed-wise as Witt with the 3 fouls has to come out on Bonham. Alan Manuel against Diouf. The freshman with the size, he put on the brakes, and Emmanuel went flying. And Haney joins him with 13. High point man for the Mocs, Bash Whelan. Only player double figures so far tonight with 13. Goes back out by 7. Austin Peay led by 6 at the break. Bonham. Costal, they work it around. Diouf against Witt, say with the 3 fouls. Diouf bangs into him. Two guys that play a very similar game, and Diouf puts.
And then kind of just pivoted in the lane and threw up a really clever bucket from about 8 feet.
St. Mary's up by 3. Diouf with Wessels patiently in front. Around the screen, there goes Costal. And a give and go right back to Diouf.
Good defense by Wessels.
Melson out to Diouf. That's a long 3. He's got it. We're 52-48 with 11:42 to play. And Honor Huff takes it off the inbounds for Chattanooga. It was a 10-point Gales lead at the break. Chattanooga has led multiple times here, however, in the second half. Diouf on Saxon. Up with the left hand. That's a good looking